let's be serious. At this phase, there was not a lot of participation. Use the force.
The force.
Welcome to another episode of 24 frames per second, or as I like to call this little show, 24
FPS, yeah.
FPS. My name, FPS Philip Balabanos. To my right,
Otis
left,
James.
Otis James, retired sax master.
That's it. No more sax.
You better believe it. This show is one of those shows that is plagued by production problems that are out of our control. Today is not one of those days.
No.
It's a good day. It's early in the day. We got time. I got coffee. Whatever. He's fine. You're good, right?
I'm awesome.
Yeah. You need a shave.
I do need to shave, yeah.
Yeah. Not off, though, because then you'll be...
No, yeah. But I'm due, yeah.
I went for a weird, it's not a movie thing, but I went to, a new barber, I was telling you.
Right.
Which I'm never going back to. He did a good job, but, it was too much stress. I only realized, 5 minutes into the shave, the trim, whatever, that he didn't speak English or French.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He made a lot of noises at the beginning, and I was like...
How did he finish it? He said it's going to look worrisome.
He goes, now, pas bon. Not good. 5 jours? I don't know how many people speak French. I guess a lot.
5 days?
5 days? Good barb. I was like, I look like an asshole. I look like a literal...
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
My daughter kept going, I don't like what he did to your face.
Oh, my God.
She cried when a few years ago at Gigi's wedding, he's a friend of ours. I had a shaving mishap. I was doing the fade, and I just, and I was like,
so you had to take it all down?
So I tried to take it down to just a goatee, here.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, where are you fucking going? You look like a rapist. You can't go out like that.
Were you doing the Masari line, when you were young?
No. That's because I took it off right here. So I was like, there's the only thing I can do is follow this natural,
That's it.
That type of...
Yeah.
But I looked like a retired wrestler. It didn't work. So I was like, it's not going to work. So then I shaved everything off but the mustache. I was like, I can do this.
You can pull off the
My wife sent me right back into the bathroom. She's like, you're not going anywhere like that. Children will cry.
This isn't goat song.
It's not happening. No mustache. I was like, all right. Because I have to say, if it was socially acceptable, I would rock a mustache. I can pull it off.
There's a lot of people that do it. You just have to have the confidence.
No.
Yeah.
They're not pulling it off.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Some of them are pulling it off. Like Poseidon, not pulling it off.
Not pulling it off.
He has the Van Gogh thing happening. It just looks like pubis.
Yeah.
But
I also feel you have to be much thinner than Poseidon is to pull that off. And it's not a dig at his weight.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I've seen some heavy-set fellows with mustaches. They pull it off, like Stavy, the Canadian. Yeah, he pulls it off.
Yeah, but he also has...
But he's a grotesque human. That's his vibe.
His weird... What's it called? It's not a mullet. What's it when you're bald and you have a mullet? There's a word.
I don't know what it's called in English. Okay. It's like a reverse coupe longueur,
Yeah.
But I think I could pull it off if I had hair. If I had hair, it'd be fine. Without the hair, I look creepy, like what's his name, Franco in what's it called,
Zeroville,
or Jim Carrey in Sonic.
Okay, so this was a great segue. Last week we were talking, and they had made the announcement for Sonic 3, and I said, I wonder how they're going to do this without Jim Carrey, who had announced his retirement after Sonic 2. No, he's back. He's back.
I knew because when he announced his retirement, that last moment on screen, where you're like, this is Jim Carrey's final line in Hollywood. He goes, later, haters. Yeah. I was like, there's no way he's coming back.
No, he is.
I like that he went existential. Yeah. He went out, he was out there. What is that rattling? Yeah, we got to change this table. I hope no one can hear it, honestly.
It's fine.
I hope not. What was I saying?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, so he went out there, he went into the eternal sunshine.
Sure.
And then he kind of came back, right, a little bit.
Yeah,
but then he's like, you know what? I'm a enlightened human being now, a person of light and color.
Sure.
So I'm only going to do Sonic movies. What a weird thing.
Listen,
to do. I liked them. They were fun.
They were a blast, man. And the funny thing is,
Idris Elba as Knuckles is great.
Yeah, he's getting the show.
He's getting a mini show. I saw. Yeah, my kids were telling me they saw the trailer. They were excited.
Yeah. Speaking of Idris Elba, man. So I was talking about this with a friend of mine now. It's another segue. Now so Denzel just announced he's doing a movie with he's wrapping up, or they did wrap Gladiator 2 with Ridley Scott.
Gladiatoriousness.
Yes, without Maximus. This will follow the boy.
Okay.
Who's now a man.
The boy and his son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so he's being played by...
I wouldn't want to see Maximus again.
No, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
There was some rumor a while back that they had a sequel with a ghost of Maximus. I'm so glad they didn't do that.
No.
So Denzel will also play a retired gladiator or anything like that. But now I was talking about it. He's reached a certain age. And so he'll be Denzel.
Oh.
So he'll be playing.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Idris Elba.
He'll be playing eventually closer to like the Morgan Freeman roles. I mean, Denzel's a leading man, so he'll definitely continue.
Is he 60?
He's in his 60s.
He's in his 60s.
So now the mantle of that like 40s to 50s Denzel role, does that go to Idris Elba? Do all those movies go there?
I mean, look, I really like Idris Elba.
Me too.
I have no issue with Idris Elba taking that role. I just don't think that he has the gravitas.
Well, that's the conversation.
Because he's not American.
You think the fact that he's British takes away from it?
It adds something else. There's another layer of it, but it's not gravitas.
I think he does have the gravitas.
I don't know. I want him to have it. I hope he does, but I don't know that he does.
I think he does.
He's got the smoldering intensity, like he has that, right?
Yeah.
That Idris Elba-ness.
So,
but Denzel is. So Denzel can play, like Idris Elba can play menacing well.
Yes.
Like I have no issue. I think he'd be a great villain in a lot of movies where he should have been cast as the villain.
Absolutely.
He's very menacing. But Denzel Washington is terrifying. He's not only menacing, like he frightens me on like a primal level.
Well, it was because
he's not scary, but you know he'll hurt you.
That was introduced
as an actor.
That was introduced to the world with Training Day, right? He was incredibly menacing, and
but it's different. Menacing is not the right word. Idris has menacing.
Yeah,
you're like, this is a guy who will hurt me.
You know who else has menace and is super underrated for that? I'm gonna butcher the name, but Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I can never say that poor guy's name.
Yeah.
Like.
For those of you who
said it just now, and I'm having a hard time.
For those of you who might not know who I'm talking about based on the name, he was the lead in.
Watch him name a bunch of wrong black people.
No, he was the lead in 12 Years a Slave.
I don't find he's menacing.
No, he can be. He can be.
Give me an example of where he was.
Here, just the voice. Ready? Just the voice. Now, I thought when they were gonna do this photorealistic Lion King movie at the beginning,
Scar?
Yeah, he was Scar.
He was?
Yeah.
Scar fell flat for me in that film.
You really find? I thought he had it.
Yeah, I thought he
had it. Well, the whole movie, listen, that is not a movie where you should do the photorealistic.
Yeah, so let's be fair. Maybe the fact that the whole movie felt so odd, like it was an odd experience, well, especially having grown up on Lion King.
Here's the thing, no, because I'll tell you why I was jacked for it in the beginning. I personally think,
weird choice of words.
No, I was jacked up for it, man. I was super excited. But I'll tell you why. Because did you see that photorealistic? It's also Jon Favreau when he did it with The Jungle Book years earlier.
I did.
That was phenomenal.
So look, I enjoyed the live action.
Sure. Yeah.
The Jungle Book. But growing up, I didn't really like The Jungle Book. Like I liked some of the songs and stuff. Like Baloo was cool, but like it wasn't something that I went to.
No, let's be. Like, I get what you're saying. Lion King is on another level, right?
I mean, they're also 12 years apart. Like I was much younger when the Jungle.
I don't think that.
Check it.
Lion King was 94. I remember.
95.
94.
Oh man, now you said Lion King while you search. I've been watching Ted, like I told you. There's this great
Jungle Book was a lot.
What year?
Was
90?
Year? Hold on.
I feel like it was in the 80s.
No. The Jungle Book was in the 60s, 1967.
There you go. Yeah, it was a long time before. Yeah.
So that's like 12 years, or more like 30 years.
By the time I came to an age where I could appreciate the Jungle Book,
sure.
Wow, we were both really off there.
Yeah.
I knew it was older, but like
I thought it was in the. No, I thought it was in 1980.
At the very earliest, I thought it was 1981.
Sure.
Right. So the animation had already aged pretty badly.
Yeah. That's fine.
So like when The Lion King came out, I was like, Jesus Christ.
But all these movies, don't forget, The Lion King is essentially Hamlet, right?
No, I know. I mean, none of it's
so
that.
Have,
I mean, and Wakanda Forever is essentially Hamlet also. Like, it really is.
No.
Well, no, it's not.
No. Movies or things that are Hamlet are The Lion King, Sons of Anarchy is Hamlet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anything where like the prodigal son and there's like that evil uncle figure is technically Hamlet, right?
Do you not remember? Oh, sorry, not Wakanda Forever. Black Panther.
Yeah, but it's not the evil guy. Is not his uncle.
Son.
Yeah,
the evil guy's his cousin.
Sure.
Okay, so we modernized it a bit. Whatever. It was a lovely retelling of The Lion King. I said that in the theater to someone, and they're like, "Shut up! Wait a minute." They were like, "Hold on, this feels
awful."
But they've role reversed. That's what's happening. The Simba character is the villain.
That's awful.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Black Panther was
Wakanda Forever. I did not.
I actually did enjoy Wakanda Forever.
It was fine. Yeah. I mean, they spent too much time with her dealing with the fallout, which I know it's a sensitive topic because of what happened to I can't remember his name.
Chadwick
Boseman. Thank you. Not Chiwetel Ejiofor.
You know that Chadwick Boseman was one of the students whose entire schooling was funded. Like there was this whole thing to take them to Oxford.
By Denzel.
By Denzel.
Yes, I remember that. Such a fucking tragedy. What happened?
Awful.
What a phenomenal actor. Yeah. Also majors too. Like since we're on, strong black leads who are very talented. I don't know what really. I know we've talked about this. Like I really don't know what happened behind the scenes. Like I'm not going to pretend to have an opinion on it.
No.
Fuck his personal life for a second.
He's a great actor.
Fucking gifted. Thespian.
Yeah. Like absolutely. Really, on that, I read. So the question, he was fired by Marvel, and then the question became, what are they going to plan to do? As I checked last,
you tried to tell me the other day, and we just kind of went off.
Well, last I checked, they're still keeping the Kang character because they had really invested in telling the story. So I'm seeing another Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle situation here. I'm seeing a recast. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen.
It's possible. They could even gender swap that role at this point. They could do anything because the multiverse.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it would be cool.
Fair enough. But I think
sorry, it wouldn't be cool for everyone. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Why the hell is that?
Yeah. We live in that that world.
So yeah. I don't know. I've been reading a lot of speculative stuff about what's going on with Marvel because I have to say Marvel seems to be they've lost track of what they're doing now.
Well, listen, they're hoping to get back on track with the slate coming up, with the new Captain America, with Thunderbolts. That seems to be...
But they're dipping into deep-cut content now, stuff that most passive, casual comic book fans are not aware of.
I mean, if they pull it off right, don't forget, that's what everybody said before Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy just became progressively, no one cares about it anymore. The last one's out, and I don't care at all, and I was a big fan of the first one.
Okay.
It was a whole different experience.
Kurt Russell ruined the second one for you that much?
I mean, I like Kurt Russell, but the second one was just it was whatever. It was a sequel that didn't need to exist to some extent. And they did the Christmas special too, which I was like, why is this a thing? It's
James Gunn doing his thing.
Just man. James Gunn doing
Kevin
his
Bacon,
thing,
dude.
I mean, in the 90s, stuff like that was commonplace, right?
Yeah.
Just do these Christmas specials. It was throwbacky. I get
it.
Yeah. It was fun, but it was also random.
But I forgot. I never asked you, did you ever watch Rebel Moon finally?
So I keep trying to start Rebel Moon.
Okay.
And my wife's like, this seems like a big commitment for me. I was like, I get that. Because it took me, so we met in 2008. We were married in 2013, right?
Yeah.
I think I finally got her to sit down and watch a Star Wars film for the first time in her life. I want to say when she was on mat leave with our first.
Yeah. I haven't done that
She was like, it seems daunting. I don't want to. I go, look.
Did she get into it though after? Was she?
So I don't know if I did this right.
Okay.
I know there's certain ways you can watch the 6 films.
No, here we go.
What?
Here we go.
No. I mean, I know that.
I know. I'm very curious.
There's ways to do it.
How'd you do it?
So I was like, you know what? Let's do this in a way that has incorporates flashbacks.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, let's watch A New Hope.
Right.
And then watch The Empire Strikes Back, and then go back to episode 1.
Fascinating.
And I've never seen anyone suggest that. I just thought it'd be cool. So I think it captivated her a bit because then but then there's so much time that elapses between the last, what was the last one called? Episode 3?
Revenge
of the Sith. Yeah. Between Revenge of the Sith and then because watching Revenge of the Sith and then watching the Return of the Jedi is interesting because you just saw him become Vader and then you watch this arc continue.
Right.
With a time jump.
Yeah.
So she was kind of into it. I mean, she really struggled with the Lucas prequels.
Ooh.
Which I like. I enjoyed
the last
except for episode 1. Episode 1 is a weird movie.
I didn't like it.
It's a weak fucking film.
The last time I saw those, I was the episode 7.
The Phantom Menace, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Episode 7 was coming out, which is the Jesus, what's it called? What was the name?
Oh,
not A New Hope.
No, it's called The Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's right, The Force Awakens.
That's a stupid title.
So The Force Awakens was coming out.
So stupid. I can't remember that.
And in the months leading up to it, Dre was like, I sat with Dre and we're like, oh, you want to redo these movies? So we're like, let's go.
That's around the time that we redid it because I was like, so we can watch the next one.
We went release date.
Okay.
So we went New Hope, Empire,
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, which is respectable. I have no issues with
getting through
but
1,
you can't
2,
watch
3.
them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't make sense.
And getting through 1, 2, 3 after not having seen them for a few years, and with the hype of Force Awakens coming out, it was insufferable. I quit. Like Phantom Menace, the only redeeming quality is Qui-Gon Jinn is Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Look, the Duel of the Fates scene is a great fucking Star Wars.
And Darth Maul should have been way more heavily featured as a villain.
But like, think about this for a second. So you're my dad, for example.
Okay. Go to your room.
What?
Go to your room.
You grew up on Star Wars, right? In the 70s. Like, it was this fucking phenomenon. And those thin lightsabers are like your childhood pinnacle.
Right.
And then, because I watched it with my dad the first time, The Phantom Menace. You see The Phantom Menace, and there's this fucking... I remember being in the theater, and he goes, you... And everyone's like... And then... and the whole fucking theater's like, oh, shit, there's two sides.
But you also have to remove yourself
my
from the
dad
idea. Yeah. But then you also have... I mean, the original trilogy is...
Yeah.
Right? And then the prequels are like everybody's cool. Like, fucking, you found that cool. I'm like, what happened? Everybody just progressively got worse.
No, you're thinking about it wrong. I mean, this is like Nirvana right now, but like in the time of the original trilogy in its universe, right? The Jedi are no more. There are no skilled Jedi masters anymore except for Vader and Obi-Wan.
Right.
Yeah. But they're also old. And they haven't really dueled anyone in a long fucking time.
All right. You know what? Fair enough. I never looked at it that way.
Also, Vader's a fucking robot.
Yeah.
He's like not as nimble as he was.
Fair enough.
Did you watch the Obi-Wan series?
No. So wait. I'm going to hold on. We're going to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you watched it?
So we watched it. It was super.
I disagree.
When we got to Revenge of the Sith, I was like, okay, this one's...
What year did Phantom Menace come out?
1999.
1999.
Yeah. I remember
we were 14.
It was really funny because...
Yeah.
Fuck. Do you know the Meet Joe Black situation with that?
No.
So this movie comes out in 98, I think, called Meet Joe Black.
I remember Meet Joe Black with Brad Pitt.
Where he plays Death, right?
Yes,
it's essentially the Death Takes a Holiday story, right? With his incredible...
I just can't see how you're...
Incredible patois accent.
Oh, yeah.
Everything gonna be... Aye. So
who directed that?
I want to say either Martin Brest. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, this movie has a monster opening box office weekend.
Yeah.
Not because anybody gave a two shit flying fuck about Brad Pitt in Meet Joe Black.
But sold out tickets. Is that what it was?
But no, that was the film that the Phantom Menace trailer was going to be attached with, and this is at a time where you couldn't watch trailers online.
Yeah.
So
only on TV.
Massive amounts of fans were buying tickets to go see Meet Joe Black.
Just to see the trailer
and dip. Because Meet Joe Black said it's a 3-hour movie, right?
Yeah,
so these people were like, I don't give a shit. I'm here to watch. I'll pay the full price. This was a whole cultural phenomenon of people that were doing it, right?
I remember the pop culture, the excitement.
Yeah.
Star Wars. I remember it.
So I went to see it, and I don't know, I was 13 at the time. You're like, yeah, whatever. Caught up in the hype of like, fuck, this is good.
You're right. Sorry.
This is really good. It was so much fun. And only with time, when you go back to it, you're like, wait a minute, right?
Oh, no. I mean, we left Phantom Menace, and I knew we were in trouble.
Oh, okay. So I didn't. I was like, okay.
Because the Phantom Menace is the weakest of the three, in my opinion.
So wait. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I liked it, and I think I rewatched it just in time for Attack of the Clones, because I wanted it fresh in my mind.
I never finished Attack of the Clones.
So I go see Attack of the Clones, the second one, the second prequel.
You missed the Clone Wars. Sorry.
No. Attack of the Clones is the second prequel.
Yes.
And now I'm watching this movie, and I'm okay with it, and I'm loving the fact that Christopher Lee is in it, and then he has his fight scene with CGI Yoda.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that I'm like maybe 15 at this point, and I'm just like,
what's happening?
Fuck this. This is stupid, right? Like, really upset. And then I eventually watched with my Star Wars friends Revenge of the Sith, and being like, okay, it's cool because I know where it's going. And I enjoy it.
Revenge of the Sith is a solid action movie.
Now I'm gonna watch the comments as they hate me. I still really like Force Awakens. Like,
The Force Awakens is fine as a film.
I like it.
Exciting. There's stuff going on.
I like it.
There's mystery. There's all kinds of stuff. Then you get into whatever the second one was called.
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
That's your buddy.
I know, it's Ryan Johnson. There's a fucking great movie in there somewhere.
Sure, yeah.
There really is. I think. I don't know if there's stuff missing or if the studio and the director, the creative team.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couldn't agree on the Kylo Ren arc.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have much rather watched more Kylo Ren.
Sure.
Than Ben Solo than Kylo Ren.
Right.
Or at least fucking look in the fucking Force Awakens. Spoiler alert: he kills Han Solo.
Right.
Even if the rest of the movie was garbage, which it wasn't, in that moment in the theater, I was in tears because
it's an epic scene.
It's fucking Han Solo. He killed his father. Like, what the fuck?
It's fucking awesome.
And you also know in the back of your mind, if you know the history of how these films were made, Harrison Ford's been asking to be killed off since A New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, kill me off.
Yeah.
They're like, no. He's like, come on, just murder me. He's just been asking to be killed constantly.
Yeah.
And they finally give him that, and it's gut wrenching. And then he drops.
So my beef, and I don't know if I think I'm in a big minority here. My beef is that these films after Force Awakens didn't feature Finn enough.
Finn did fall into the background. He also didn't seem important to the whole
story. I disagree with.
No. I mean the way they.
Yeah. I disagree with that choice.
He was a great character.
Yeah, it was an awesome character who should have been featured a lot more. Anyways, but look,
it's just that it tried to replicate the formulas of the first trilogy.
Yeah,
with Rey though in this instance.
Yeah. I mean, it was nostalgia porn.
And the 100%. Fact that they brought back Palpatine at the very end as the real villain, you're like, didn't we deal with this already? Like. What? Like Vader died for nothing. Yeah. Like this.
There was a lot of. Anyways, whatever. We can get into that.
Like now, I'm gonna say one thing though.
Go ahead.
I remember hearing someone say this. It must have been a podcast clip, and I was like, "Fuck, he's right." And he goes, "Look, I don't remember who it was though. It was an actor. I can't remember who it was. He wasn't in the films. He says these are children's movies. They're for teenagers and young adults, right?
You're about to get lambasted.
No, I'm not giving you my opinion.
Sure. Okay,
what he said and what made me think. He goes,
"This is not Phil's opinion."
No, this is not my opinion. He goes, "These are fantasy movies for children." I was like, okay.
Sure.
Obviously, every generation that gets a trilogy, the kids all love them.
Yeah.
It's the adults that don't really get it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because they've lost their sense of wonder. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, and there's this whole look. There's the social media aspect that can't be ignored, right?
Oh, it's a fucking echo chamber of toxicity.
Yeah, that's it. George R.R. Martin just commented on it recently. You know what I mean? Where it used to be fine to just say like, "Yeah, I didn't like that book," right? And that was the end of the conversation. It was fine. And now it's like, "What? You don't know anything? Kill yourself? All that crazy shit," right?
Can we get into the series for a second?
Yeah. So that's what I was going to jump into. Now, I have not watched. So I'm a passive Star Wars fan, right? Okay, I have not watched a single series. So I haven't watched Mandalorian. I haven't watched what was the other one? The Boba Fett one.
Oh, the Book of Boba.
The Book of Boba Fett. I haven't watched Andor, and I haven't. But we've talked about this on this podcast before, and Dre has mentioned above and beyond all of them. Who's watched all of them? He's a close friend of mine. He's a fan of this stuff. Says Andor above all else.
Andor is great. It really is. It lost me near the end. We've discussed it.
Yeah.
In the prison.
Sure.
Like whatever. I don't know if it's the strongest. I mean, the strongest is probably Obi-Wan, like the Kenobi series. That
I would love to bring him on the podcast and have you guys debate that, just out of curiosity.
I understand why he thinks Andor is the superior show. I get it.
Yeah.
It's really well paced, produced, written. It's a great show. But like, if you're a diehard, I don't know if I am a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm more of a Trekkie.
You're a Trekkie, yeah.
Yeah, but if you really like Star Wars and you know the story well enough, Kenobi is so much more pivotal and important that everything that happens on screen has a bit more weight to it. Not that Andor isn't. It's also very important.
Is Ewan McGregor in the Keanu Reeves like vampire world? Because I watched the trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this fucking guy should be, I don't know how old he is now, but he should look a lot older than he does. This actor is like, Ewan McGregor. I didn't say Obi, I said Ewan McGregor is like.
Well, I mean, there was this long discussion online about how the timelines are confusing now because, what was the actor's name? Not Ben Kingsley. The original Obi-Wan.
Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness, thank you. Yeah. So Alec Guinness is much older.
Yeah.
Then, because the timelines are starting to get close to each other. So you're like, what the fuck? Like, how are they going to explain this? And they never really do.
I don't think that's important.
No, but I mean, but it just goes to show, like, because the ages are actually close.
Yeah,
it's close to the age that Alec Guinness was.
But he's just so much better looking.
So much younger.
Yeah, he's just yeah. Okay. Now to move away from Star Wars. Yeah, I mentioned the word vampire. For those that are not in the know, I had this conversation with Phil offline last time. I had read about
okay.
I had read about this film that was being pitched to studios for a theatrical release that is to be written and directed by Ryan Coogler of Fruitvale Station, Creed.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Fruitvale Station, Creed, and Black Panther, starring the actor from all those three movies, Michael B. Jordan. And there was a huge bidding war going on about it. So I'm reading this whole article. Everything's kept under wraps. But there are these little tags at the bottom that you can like through sort of for filtering within the intranet of these sites. And it just says vampire movie. And I go, what the fuck is this? So now it's officially been confirmed. Warner Brothers has won the bidding war for an as of yet untitled period action vampire film to be directed by Ryan Coogler and to star Michael B. Jordan.
That's awesome.
Part of the deal is that Coogler retains certain intellectual rights, which would only beg to differ that there's like some bigger story that he wants to tell. Yeah,
creating something new.
Yeah, so that's interesting. That's a bit of movie news.
A blade for the next generation.
A blade for the next generation. You know, as they're gearing up.
What if it's period?
Well, yeah, as they're bringing up, they're ready now to. I think the script. I mean, it's gone through so many hands and so many directors. But it looks like Mahershala Ali's Blade is going to go into production soon.
Had it not started production?
No. So the thing is, it went through a bunch of changes. It had some really cool names attached to it. Not big names, just names that were like, this is going to be interesting to see how they do this. Mahershala has stayed with it the whole time. Writers have come and gone to work on this script. So I don't even know where it's going to be set now, whether they're going to go period or they're going to go new.
Is a Marvel?
This is Marvel. This is
Disney,
Marvel.
right?
Yeah, Disney Marvel, if you will. It's going to be part of the MCU.
Okay.
They have confirmed that with Deadpool and this, Disney has greenlit an R rating. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
And the last talk I heard is that the villain will be Lilith, right? Which in the comics is something with this blade as well.
Yeah.
Which also features in the Eternals. And there's a little... For those who haven't said, it's a spoiler. I don't care. At the end, your little end scene or post-credit scene,
his name?
Kit Harington is reaching for the blade, and you hear Mahershala Ali's voice say, "Are you sure you're ready for that, Doctor?" Or whatever his name.
Whatever,
was.
Yeah.
And so that was
Black Knight or something.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm not familiar with that story.
Me neither. Yeah, but that was the arrival of Blade in the cinematic universe. Yeah. So this movie was gearing up. It was going to be fast track for a while, and then, directors dropped out, things happened, and then right when it looked like everything was lined up again, you had the writer's strike, and then you had the actor's strike, and so now with everything...
I'm dumb for being surprised that it's been delayed.
And so now with everything calmed down, it looks like it's going to be one of the things that...
A lot of stuff coming off of the Deadpool 3 set, too.
So I mean, according to the leaks there, or whatever, this movie's going to feature everything from Gremlins to the Muppets to
Gremlins.
No, just saying, it's you might as well just throw in anything.
I have to say though, seeing Jackman back, as the Wolverine with the comic book accurate is fucking cool.
Do you think this is the movie where the trigger gets pulled by Marvel to reintroduce
mutants?
The mutants, the X-Men.
I mean, it seems that way.
But I mean, not just Wolverine, but I'm talking about...
It really feels like this, because why else would they allow Reynolds to do this? Why would Jackman come back?
Yeah. Do you think...
He's battling skin cancer. He's having issues.
He had for a while.
No, but
it's coming back.
It's back,
I guess, yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, man. It's a pain in the ass. Do you think they're going to use the 90s theme now with everything that's happening?
Oh, we're going to hear it. We're going to hear the 90s theme. I'm so fucking excited for that. I mean...
No, but see, you're hyping yourself. What if you don't hear the 90s theme? You're going to be disappointed.
It's Ryan Reynolds. I believe in him. I believe in him with my whole heart.
I believe Ryan.
Believe in him. It's fucking Ryan Reynolds we're talking about. Like,
yep.
I have he understands marketing. He's gonna do
marketing,
it. Yeah. No, that's not it.
No, it's
Why can't I can't hear it. Yeah, it's great. fucking rogue's ass is my fucking pubescent awakening.
Jesus, calm yourself.
Sorry. And then there's also the fact that it looks, I mean, you told me about it, so I mean, I'm not giving you news. The leak from SAG.
Yeah, so let's talk about this.
I read about it after. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's hilarious.
Pedro Pascal seems to be a lock for Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four. Wait, there's an update here. So I had told Phil this on the phone. So what happened is it was long. Yeah, he was long rumored to be attached. So Matt Shakman from WandaVision is attached to this film, and a casting announcement has seemed imminent forever. And the latest rumors had suggested Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. What's his name? Joseph Quinn from the last season of Stranger Things.
Eddie?
Metallica solo. Eddie is going to be Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And then... I
always think of Chris Evans doing that.
Man, I'm not... I feel terrible. I can't...
It's hard. I can't remember to say this name. After him being... fucking Captain America for so long, but he was a perfect Johnny Storm.
He was a great Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm. Eben Moss Backrack as a
from the Bear, the cousin.
Now, this is the rumored cast list forever. Recently, as the SAG Awards are approaching and the SAG Awards release these kind of like little snippets for each actor nominated for the various things that they're nominated in, included an announcement that Pedro Pascal was going to be fantastic. Like you're saying, upcoming projects include playing Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four. It was immediately taken down. Then Matt Shakman, the director, reposted it. Like I guess had screen grabbed it and reposted it on his Twitter. Well, he knew. I mean, he cast it. Whatever.
He knew that it was out of the bag.
But get this. Then now, if you go on Matt Shakman's Twitter, it's deleted. The whole Twitter.
This got up his ass.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's interesting, you know? Like, but here's the thing. I don't get it. Like, what's the problem? Unless these deals are not set.
Maybe.
Right? Which seems weird because this is like greenlit getting ready to go into production. And these rumors have been circling for a long time.
I like Pedro Pascal. We had this conversation.
But you don't think he's
But I don't know if he's Mr. Fantastic. He's not Reed Richards.
I'm telling you right now.
The last casting of Reed Richards in the first casting, not the last one.
Ewan or Johan Gruffud, whatever.
Was pretty solid. I have to say it was okay.
It was a bit.
Michael Chiklis is my thing forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Chiklis is.
I can see Eben Moss, whatever his name is, like Richie.
Did you? Okay, so
being the thing, like he has that fucking.
Listen, I'm done with hype because after Chronicle came out, super underrated movie for those who haven't seen it. Chronicle. And Josh Trank was hired. Like I remember reading he's going to make Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, this is the greatest idea ever, right?
Yeah.
And then they announced the casting and I was like, this seems inspired. You had Miles Teller as Reed Richards and you're like, oh, they're going younger. This is like an origin type story. You had Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. You had Kate Mara when I was like, oh, okay, they're doing an interesting thing with interracial brother and sister here.
Yeah.
And then you had super underrated actor.
I don't remember his name at all.
It's Jamie Bell. Excuse me. Yes, I was as the thing. But again, what made me excited is Josh Trank is tackling this. This is going to be.
To be fair, he did it. Like visually and thematically, exactly like I thought he would after Chronicle.
So wait.
It had that look.
So this movie gets plagued with production issues. According to him, like 2 weeks before shooting was to begin, a bunch of his budget was taken away, and he had to like cut out key sequences, action sequences, or what have you.
Then Doom in that. His name.
Oh, he's a great British actor.
Baby Doom.
I'm forgetting his name now, and I really like him. Jesus, he was in Rock and Rolla.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So he had this film basically taken away from him, according to Josh Trank.
Shepard Menken?
No. Toby Kebbell. There we go. Toby Kebbell.
Oh.
So, and then the studio involvement and all this shit, and then they started announcing that he was like unfit, he was like breaking shit, he had meltdowns on set or all that stuff. Really? The actors kind of kept really mum about it completely, and then Trank, off the hype of the Fantastic Four movie, was going to make a Star Wars film, right? I think he was actually going to make one of the 3 of the new trilogy.
Okay.
Right? And then as this is about to explode onto the scene, it's like days before or the day before the release of Fantastic Four, and he goes on Twitter and just says, I made an incredible movie. It's so awesome. Unfortunately, what you're going to watch is not this movie, and just completely shit on Fox and everything of what was happening. He was promptly
dispatched,
so to speak, and then whatever reasons behind the scenes got to Disney. He was fired off the Sar Wars movie before anything even started.
Like that,
and he's been on he hasn't done anything. He did that with Tom Hardy. What's it called? Jesus,
this one,
Al Capone movie.
Oh right,
Tom Hardy, which came out to mixed reviews or what have you.
Isn't that called Capone?
Yeah, it's called Capone. Yeah. And then I'm very curious. I don't think
that's a movie that I watched and I have zero memory of.
Yeah,
it just
gone. So that was in 2020, and then he's attached to The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt, and then this other sci-fi called The Red Star, but none of these seem to be in production. So who really knows what's going to happen with Josh Trank? And it's very sad because, yeah, I guess. But I mean, look, a lot of people fuck with the system. I mean, could you?
He wasn't successful enough.
Yeah, he wasn't Zack Snyder. Yeah. Zack Snyder got his way, and David Ayer doesn't look like he's going to get his way either. He has officially put to bed. But I mean, so did Zack Snyder back in the day. But David Ayer has officially put to bed his Suicide Squad director's cut.
But Snyder, say what you will, that he's Snyder and he has this position in the industry. I think what happened during the personal tragedy of what happened to him
How do you
during
come back
the
from
production of that film, I think that gave him some rope, to be able to
not only that, I think,
hey, I want to finish this project.
I think not only that, I think what
a horrible fucking story though.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But not only that, I think on top of that, you compound that with the Joss Whedon situation.
Yeah,
then
I have a hard time believing that Whedon. I mean, I know now.
No, there's too many stories. Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing that Whedon could come onto a set at that stage of production and fuck it up so bad. He's, say what you will about him as a personality.
Yeah.
He did
talking about as a creative,
as a creative force and a visionary for to lead that ship. I don't understand what happened unless he was just the studio had him by the balls and you do what we tell you, and he was okay.
No, I don't think he needed that at that point. Look,
they're very different filmmakers.
That movie,
very different.
Whedon's cut.
It's unwatchable. It doesn't make any sense.
Garbage.
Was it also 4:3? No, it wasn't.
No. That one was just and the colors were all different. Remember at the end, it's all red tint everywhere.
Yeah,
just a lot of
I mean, that's very Whedon to do something like that.
Sure.
I can see happening.
So no.
But apparently he was a dick on set.
Yeah. It was it's a whole story. So I think with all that and the other thing was, man, fucking Warner's knew. So after the Sony hack happened, other leaks were coming out and stuff like that, and I read somewhere that Warner's that movie was not ready to be released, and filmmakers or behind the scenes producers were asking for reshoots and what have you to have fix it, and executives were saying no, it's going to keep its release date because if it doesn't come out by that time, we don't get our bonuses. And so it's that's the kind of filmmaking where you're ugh, this sucks. It's everyone loses, you know what I mean? So not everyone, yeah, but yeah, exactly. The people who this is for lose. And so all this, you put that together, it tainted. I think that was the beginning of the end for the DCEU.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
it looks like they're working behind the scenes on something interesting now.
Well, what James
look what happened to Aquaman, the last Aquaman. It came out to almost no marketing. It just
it had a push because they wanted to squeeze as much money out of it. But I mean,
they must know. I don't even need to watch that movie to know it's bad.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You see, that's James Wan, another very talented filmmaker who is getting involved in that. In that,
the first Aquaman. I mean, I'm not an Aquaman fan. I think
it was fun.
It's a wonky fucking
It was
character.
It was
fun,
fun.
and he's great.
Momoa, Jason Momoa. So now who knows? Look, I'm very curious to see what James Gunn's gonna do with the new Superman movie, and then
Legacy.
Yeah,
That was called.
yeah, and then they're doing that the Batman with the father-son dynamic for the Brave and the Bold. With
Batman with baby Robin,
baby Batman. Yeah,
not baby Batman.
Well, no, that's what I'm calling him.
Baby Robin.
Like, that's gonna be
Pattinson is baby Batman.
Yeah, Pattinson is baby Batman. But see, that's the thing is Pattinson's Batman and Joaquin's Joker exist in what they're calling Elseworlds. Yeah,
the
Elseworlds. That trailer, I can't wait to see the
new Joker.
Folie à Deux there. Yeah. With
so
Lady Gaga.
It's super random. Remember, like a week and a half ago, I sent you like this piano song, and I was like, "What is this fucking song?" I know.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's from the same soundtrack as Dernière Danse from Joker.
Oh, okay.
It's Indila, is that her name? The French singer. The song is called Love Story. You've heard it, and the reason it sounds this is super random, guys. I know. The reason it sounds so familiar is because those keys at the beginning, it's just old school 1920s P.T. Barnum circus music.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh fuck this! Like it took me forever. Now my kid's obsessed with it. I have to hear it every day.
Yes, that's the bad news when they get something.
Honestly, she's like, well, we can't hear the same song again because I've heard it so many times. I may crash this car. So to answer your question,
yes,
I have not seen Rebel Moon yet.
Okay.
Because I'm waiting for the director's cut.
Right. Okay.
I waited until you got back to Snyder.
I mean, I don't. So I was hanging with Dre last week, and we saw Rebel Moon together, and so I
thought you had seen it a while ago.
Yeah, we saw it. No, last week. We just we were trying to watch something, and we were just going through some things.
Okay.
And we passed by the Rebel Moon thumbnail, and he looks at me and he goes, "I think you're gonna have to do part 2 without me." I was like, "Oh, you're tapping out? You're not?" He's like, "Yeah." He doesn't even. To him, it was so bad that it's not even worth
the investment of time. To see how it plays out.
And it's like we're hanging out anyway. It's not like he's going out of his way, right? He's just like, "No, there's other things we should be watching."
But when can I expect the Snyder cut?
Unknown.
Oh, unknown. I thought it was happening.
No, apparently it's like ready. But here's the thing: I don't know if they're going to release them either in the weeks leading up to Rebel Moon Part 2, which is still scheduled for April. Or later on, maybe once they're both released.
Is it a trilogy he's working on?
No, it's 2. It's 2. Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm down for new sci-fi fantasy stuff always. Like,
I'm very curious. I really want your thoughts on it. I don't want to tell you anything.
I like Zack Snyder. I mean, I think he's a weak character director. Like, characters are not fleshed out well, ever.
We'll talk
but
after
like
you watch
visually, he kind of tells a very interesting story.
Yeah, look, there's something in there, but I want to talk to you once you've seen it.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
I mean,
when we're talking about
the trailer is fucking Snyder coming all over the screen. It's hilarious.
Dude, everything must stop for the release of Dune Part 2.
So here's the problem. I gotta rewatch Dune.
Yeah, me too.
So because I told you, I think I've spoken about it on the show. I made the mistake of watching Dune on an airplane.
I don't know why you would even
fucking
begin to think that was a good idea.
I want to watch something awesome.
That's so stupid.
So I tried to watch Dune, and it was a fucking disaster. I couldn't get into it. I didn't know what was happening. Little screen, whatever.
So good.
And then...
Does Anna have any interest?
No, zero.
No, huh? Okay, come over and watch it. Come to my house.
I might just watch it on my own.
Sure.
I think we should wrap up the show.
Yes. Little recommendation. We've talked about this movie. Just I want to start throwing out some fun little recommends for people. So I know we have viewers from maybe all over the world.
The Globus.
Yeah. So for those
around the flat earth.
For those in Canada, little gem. Check out on Netflix The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson. Just a nice little gem of it's like a pure 90s action thriller.
Wait, is that the Finnish one?
No, The Negotiator is Paul Giamatti.
Oh, right.
That is a fucking lie.
I thought it was a new movie.
No. I'm not recommending new movies. I want to recommend some old movies.
The Negotiator.
The Negotiator. For those in Canada, it's on Netflix. And then for anybody else who might not have access to this one, let's go back and watch Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone.
Deep cut.
Yeah. That's I just revisited that one again. It's so much fun. But again, it's so much. You know what the most random
Presidential Library.
You know what the most random thing, and then you read about it is like Dennis Leary gets cast in that film, and they rewrite the character a bit. to allow him to have this completely out of place. It's so out of place in this wackadoo movie rant in his Dennis Leary stand-up style of the 90s.
Yeah.
He's just like, I want to eat a big fat cheeseburger and smoke a big cigar. So The Negotiator, Demolition Man, two complete opposite gems of the 90s. One super serial, the other one completely ridiculous.
I'm gonna
have fun.
I'm gonna throw in a recommendation.
Let's
too,
go.
Which is from 2014. I told you about it the other day. I watched it like on a fluke. Was not aware of the film. Fucking phenomenal cast. Didn't do well, but I think it was unfair. And it's called This Is Where I Leave You. What's his name?
Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Adam Driver,
Jane Fonda.
Everybody.
What's his name? Paul Scheer.
Yeah,
is that Paul Scheer? No, it's the guy who looks like Paul Scheer.
The guy who looks like Paul Scheer. Yeah. Anyways, that's a Sean Levy film. The guy was doing Deadpool 3, and there we go. We come full circle,
and we bid you adieu. My name is Phil Balabanos.
I'm Peter James.
Go to the movies.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a fun one.